What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Maverick Man 101. Got a video today here from the Modern King. Man finds out wife stole $27,000 from him. Then he did this. Let's go.
Jane?
Yeah?
Can you come here, please?
Yeah, what's up?
What is this $15,000 charge, in our bank statement right now? Because I'm very confused. Because I see the name on it and it says Disney, but we talked about this.
Yeah,
Yeah, what?
we talked.
We talked. We didn't make a decision. There's a $15,000 charge for Disney. What is this for?
That's for the Disney cruise. That's for the
The
cruise
what?
ship. The cruise that we're going on.
15,000 for Disney cruise?
Yeah, everything's included. Once you get, I know.
That's every cruise ship. What do you mean? So it's $15,000 for us to go on the cruise?
Yeah.
Me, you, and the kids? All four of them?
Yes, honey. Yeah, see? See,
No,
all
not
of
see.
us.
What do you mean, all of us? That's 15,000.
You're not thinking about the memories. You're not thinking about all the fun they're gonna have. They're gonna remember this forever. You're just thinking about the number, but think about the experience.
Yes, the number itself is very important.
And that's a good price because the flights were. Ooh, you don't even want to know how much the flights were.
Wait, this is just for the cruise. This has nothing to do. What about the flights and the hotel before we go there?
Yeah, that's just the cruise. So don't even be worried about that because that's not the total.
Jane,
Yeah.
how much is the total, honey?
Don't worry.
I have to
You
worry.
can't take it with you.
But apparently I can't have it here either. What do you mean?
You know, to women, to modern women, money is a fantasy, right? Well, let me put it like this. Other people's money, their money too, but mainly other people's money, specifically other men's money, right? Their husband, their boyfriend, their sugar daddy. It grows on trees. It's a fantasy that they can just dream up or pray up, and it just comes from anywhere, right? Women do this because there's that social safety net, right? They know that they can just spend this money and they won't be, out here looking crazy because one, it's not theirs. But you see how concerned the husband is, right? Because he's forward thinking. I've said this before, right? Forward thinking. He understands that maybe they couldn't spend all that money for the Disney trip, or there's different ways they could have went about it. But for her, she says, hey, look, you can't take it with you. Oh, now you a philosopher. Now you Socrates and all these brothers. When it comes to money, you can't take it with you. So what are we supposed to do while we here, though? Right? What are we supposed to do while we still living? It's a fantasy to them. When they get a chance to spend other people's money, other men's money, her husband, it doesn't matter. There's no thought process behind it. It's let's go all out. And then they out here hurting for a Disney trip, right? Better watch a movie.
You.
But apparently I can't have it here either. What do you mean?
Yeah, see.
You can clearly see how stressed he is. And instead of realizing she made a mistake, she tries to gaslight him. And if her actions cause them to have financial problems, she will 100% blame him and act like she had nothing to do with it.
And then she'll
Because
leave.
I want to get the shrimp, the spinach, dip, the meal, all of this, what I'm going to order. You can do this to go. You know,
To go?
yeah.
All right.
And then I'm going to get some for my 12-year-old because he eat like a man. So I get the fries.
Look at his face.
And then I might as well get us something to eat tomorrow because I ain't going to feel like cooking.
Okay, now hold on for a minute. How much stuff did you just order? How much you got, ma'am?
I have, so I already put in the wings, those are gonna come for here. And then I have a spinach dip.
Spinach dip to go.
Buffalo sandwich to go.
Buffalo
and chicken
sandwich to go.
tenders to go.
Chicken tenders to go.
That's all I have for now.
I got 3 children, you know that.
You got 3 children?
Yeah, so I'm going to order all them something.
That's a lot to go. You might as well go. That's too much. I can't. And this is our first date. Ain't trying to be funny. This is our first date. I'm not taking care of your children. We need to talk about it. We need a time out.
Okay.
I didn't know you had kids. You didn't tell me you had kids.
I'll be back.
Yeah, be back. We got to talk about this.
You got a goofy living?
I know, bro, ain't say come back. Hey, man, that's why why are we still doing, if you're still dating, if you still choosing to date these women, I don't know why, but if you are still choosing to date these women and you go on a first date with her, why are we still doing dinner dates, right? See, because in a dinner date, men, you already lose your leverage, right? And then she gets to go there and order stuff for her kid, her pookie boyfriend, her cousin that's locked up. She gets to order food for whoever else, her mama, her cousin. Nah, screw them. I ain't here with them. I don't care about them, right? You gotta, if you're still doing that, if you're still going on first dates with these women, you gotta take her, in my opinion, to something that you gotta do that's more active, right? Golf, miniature golf, top golf, an arcade, right? She can't take home a basketball. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just, oh, let's go out to eat. I'll take you to dinner. Nah. Go do something else. Now this brother's sitting here trying to huddle up because he don't want to pay for her kids to eat. Bro, you put yourself in this position.
Yeah, be back. We got to talk about him.
You got a goofy living situation? What's going on with that?
4 years ago, I was dating this girl, and we moved in together, and we were engaged, living on a farm that her parents owned, and we actually ended up moving into the house that she grew up in. It's a dairy farm, and me and her dad started dairy farming together. Flash forward another year, well, she found her a new boyfriend, and her dad found out, and her dad told her to get out and told me to stay. So to this day, I still live on the farm she grew up in, and I still milk cows with her dad. Hell, I talk to her dad more than he talks to her.
You are the father's son he wish he always had.
He told me that one time, which I thought was weird because he has a son.
So do you ever see the girl anymore?
And her new boyfriend, I guess, just bought a house a while back, and they're wanting to fix it up. And, me being a nice guy, I even offered to help him out. And her new boyfriend told me he'd rather freeze to death than have my help. So you know what? Damn. I guess that's their problem.
You see her at
Shout out to him. Shout out to the dad, too, right? I've said it before. Look, I don't have kids, but look, man, sometimes you got to cut these kids off. They be wilding. They be straight wilding. And it's like, look, I'm going to keep moving, right? That's why when parents have wills and different trust, they put conditions in there, right? You get this if you're married. You get this if you go to college and major in whatever, right? I agree. I agree. You ain't just gonna be out here willy-nilly messing up the family values. Nah, fam.
Thanksgiving and stuff, or no?
Oh yeah, it definitely makes her angry every time you see her over at her parents' house and I'm there, but that's okay.
He's got like a stocking on the mantle during Christmas time and
I do.
Shout out to the dad.
Do you pay rent?
No.
And he don't pay rent.
How the hell did this work out?
I honestly have no idea. I somehow just Forrest Gumped my way through life. I don't know.
I ain't mad.
No, we still flew a normal flight on the way up here, which is not good.
Okay, there seems to be a little economical misunderstanding. You play a sport that generates $0.
You give them an inch, they take a mile. They should be happy they even have a sport, because no one would subsidize a man's sport that loses tens of millions a year.
This WNBA argument, debate, I mean, folks have sliced this up so many times and women still don't understand it. It's basic economics. When it comes down to it, your sport operates no money. Now, for a time, the NBA did too, right? But, that was the 60s, parts of the 70s, and then the sport started to grow. The WNBA is not there yet. Now, maybe one day it will get there where it can make a profit. But right now, I think even last year, they had major sales in terms of revenue and ticket sales and apparel, but they still operated at a deficit. So it's simple business economics, right? You're operating at a deficit. You gotta cut some things. You can't just be flying first class and doing this and doing that. Take a bike, right? And so simple economics, and this is why I say It's never about equality with them, right? Because equality says, if you listen to the Dave Chappelle joke, if you wanted equality, there would be no WNBA because you would just play with the men. But it's not about equality. You want domination over men. So you want to get a subsidized league so that your league can be propped up when your league makes no money and still sit here and wonder why you not flying private. Yo, stop. Just stop.
Subsidize a man's sport that loses tens
Facts.
of millions a year.
Facts. Is she pouring Gatorade in there? What's going on?
Yo, do you guys believe this? A man will sacrifice his happiness for his family, and a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness.
I don't believe that.
Of course not.
I believe it.
Because you guys are the men.
No, because it happened to me in real life.
Yeah, I believe that, and that happens a lot. I think it's listen. This is hard for you to accept it because I don't think I think you would be different.
No, yeah, you're good. But my mom left when I was like 1 or 2.
See, that gives me chills.
She
like,
disappeared.
Thinking about that.
Not disappeared, but like she was wanting to like go do young people stuff and go party and stuff like that. Well, my dad had to sit, go to work and take care of me. She did come back eventually, but that's picking happiness over her family.
It gave me like chills.
Why?
I don't know. It's sad to think about. A man would sacrifice his happiness for his family. A woman would sacrifice her family for her happiness.
Just they're like cats. A little more selfish.
I used to say this years ago. And I said this to my ex at one point where I was like, hey, look, men go to college to build themselves up, to make money, obviously, in the future, to hopefully have a family and a home one day, right? So a man goes to college for his future family so that he can provide. A woman goes to college for herself so that she can indulge in all the stuff that college has to offer. And she just looked at me like I was crazy. And it's the same thing with marriage, right? With what these folks were saying, right? In terms of woman giving up her family for her happiness. And what it boils down to is the fact that they just want to be back in the streets. I've said it. Other creators have said it. The door to the boulevard is never closed. That's what I say, right? The door to the boulevard is always closed. The lights are always on, because what happens is they want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to start a family. But again, it goes back to what I said. Women have no forward thinking. It's hard. It's hard to start a family. It's hard to raise kids. It's hard to be a wife, right? And to do it every day. Boring, mad, angry, sad, happy. It's hard to do it every day. So when they get to a point, they crash out. They can't do it, right? They start, looking at TikToks and seeing women at clubs and getting attention from Chad and Tyrone, and they want to be back out there. So when I say modern women aren't built for marriage, this is what I mean. I don't think they're built for marriage. They're not built for the long haul, right? They want to go and dip their toes back into the streets, into the boulevard, and then come right back in, right? They want to go and play and then come right back in, right? And I think this guy said something like like a cat, right? You can't house train an alley cat. It's hard. You can't do it. If that cat is used to being in the streets, good luck.
Just they're like cats. A little more selfish.
So let me get this straight. You're uncomfortable even though that man doesn't try to talk to you. He doesn't try to hit on you. He doesn't come anywhere near you. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even look at you, which people in your comments were trying to tell you, including women. If anything, that man should feel uncomfortable because you're the one filming him. Now, women are absolutely victims of harassment in gyms and it needs to stop. But you are not one of them. But you rather post this video, try to label that man a gym creep, and all for what? Some likes and attention on social media? Seriously? You need to do better. Mind your own business.
Attention is their oxygen. They can't survive without it, which is why they are willing to do anything to get it, even if that means randomly accusing innocent men and destroying their reputation.
I don't know how you kept a straight face.
Well, what can I say? It's all about the fine art of consulting. Oh, by the way, have you tried the new sushi spot on Canal Street? I'm checking it out Friday night after our meeting. You should come with.
To give context, this is the third time that Jordan, the consultant, has asked her out. Sarah is not interested in going out with him. And if Sarah is uncomfortable being asked out by Jordan, she should promptly speak to her supervisor.
Well, it's just that I'm not really interested in him romantically.
I don't think he's interested in you romantically. He can clearly see that you love food and he's just being nice and offering you a chance to go out and do what you love. Look, you're wasting my time. I can guarantee you he's not interested.
Survey where men and women were asked if
that corporate game women play to the T, and then they get mad when men in the corporate world ignore them because it's a risk, right? If it's a chance for her to move up the corporate ladder, oh, she'll go. But if he's equal to her or he's beneath her, she ain't gonna give him no time of day. Like if she's his manager, whatever. If she's equal, they on the same, mid-level, senior level type thing. But CEO, COO, he working legal corporate. Oh, she at happy hour all the time, cheesing and smiling because she's trying to move up the ladder, right? Either way, it's all a risk for men, and that's why men have just, specifically in the workplace, have just like, look, I avoid the women at my job, right? Men have come to that point because of things like this. In this training, it's just terrible, right? You work for a corporation, they usually make you go through this stuff, right? Especially when you first get hired. And it's like it's like online, it's a module. And it's like, who talks like this? What is going on?
You love. Look, you're wasting my time. I can guarantee you he's not interested.
Survey where men and women were asked if they got 80% of everything they want in their ideal mate, would they be happy with that? Women said, no, that's settling. And men said, 80%, I'd be thrilled, that's a catch. We're too picky about the things that don't matter at all for long-term romantic happiness, but we're not picky enough about the things that actually do matter. Men and women were asked what would be a deal breaker for going on a second date, and men named 3 things. They said she has to be cute enough, she has to be warm and kind, and she has to be interesting to talk to. Reasonable, right? The women came back with 300 things that would rule out a guy for a second date. And we're talking about like another 2 hours and maybe a free dinner. And there were things like he wore a brown belt with black shoes. Or we were having a really good time and I thought he was cute and he was interesting, but then he did this Austin Powers impression and I just can't get that out of my mind and I can't go out with him again. Maybe he was just nervous. The guys who are bad first daters might be great life partners. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
basically, if a man wants to.
Basically, in my opinion, I feel like it's one of those things where almost skip to the next video I wanted to talk about. But the previous video, it's the marriage elevator, right? Or I can't think of the title of it, but it's like, it's the dating elevator where women, they just keep trying to go higher and higher. And at some point, the man is just like, look, I'll get off. I'm happy here, right? That's most men. And I think that's what's lost, right? Men are just like, hey, look, I'll take her, let's rock. But women are like, nah, he needs to do this or he said this. I told you before in a previous video, they always want to disqualify you because there's too much access, right? She no longer is prohibited to just the men in her neighborhood. She can have a wealth of options now, right? So that allows her the illusion of choice and the paradox of choice, where she thinks that all these men are options, and they're not. They're not. Not for her. All right, guys. Let's skip to the next video. I'll be covering this next time. But thank you guys for sticking around with me. I appreciate it. Until next time, watch your six. Keep your head on 360. Eat well, sleep well, be well. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.